segue if there's no other announcements. There's a great novel that ends with these three words: grace is everywhere, and which is true if you have the eyes to see that grace is everywhere. I remember a long time ago I was talking to a trainee, and he was about to get up and speak to a room full of people, and I said, so what are you going to tell them? And he said, I think I'm going to tell them that games aren't what they used to be. And I said, okay, let me see if I got this right. So they used to be noble and they're not anymore. They used to be honorable and not so much anymore. And they used to be kind of this brave band of courageous brothers. And he said, no, I don't want to say that. I said, maybe what you want to say is you see things differently now, like a new pair of glasses, and suddenly you can look at it and go, oh, now I see what this was all about. So how you see things changes everything. And grace is everywhere if you have the lenses to be able to see it. So I remember years ago I went to say Mass at Camp Page, and there was a kid there named Ephraim who was going to make his first communion and wanted me to be the priest to do it. And so when I arrived, he was, the volunteers found a white shirt and a black tie with his, county issue jeans. But he looked very distressed, very sad, because he was waiting for his mom and his brother, and they hadn't arrived yet. And I've been around the block so many times. How many times have homies waiting to do their baptism or whatever, and they're waiting for their family to come, and they never come. And that happens a lot. So they usher everybody into the gym, and I'm trying to hold off. And I'm standing there with Ephraim, and I said, everybody's here, and we're already 15 minutes late. Maybe she got caught in traffic or something. And suddenly he lit up, and he looked way across the field at the office, and out was coming his mom and his older brother. Looked like he was about 10 years older than Ephraim. But his mom is holding his older brother's hand as they're walking this long walk to get to the gym, and clearly the guy is autistic and is looking around and is not very familiar with his environment. And so they greet each other, they sit down and begin the Mass. Well, 15 minutes into the Mass, Ephraim's older brother has like the most amazing meltdown you've ever seen. Screaming, kicking, arms flailing. Ephraim and his mom usher him outside, and they find a bench under the shade of a tree, and I can see them through the open door, and he just won't be consoled, and she's trying to calm him down, and he goes on like this for like 25 minutes, and then Ephraim comes in, makes his first communion, and his mom and his brother miss the whole thing, and he looks stony-faced and sad. After Mass, I walked up to the three of them, and Ephraim has joined them there on the bench, and the mom has managed to calm down the older brother, and Ephraim is crying. So I put my hand on his shoulder, and he looks at me, and through his tears, he says something I didn't expect to hear. I expected rage and annoyance and frustration. I expected him to be upset. And he points at his brother and he says, "He has never sinned." And that one sentence sends him back crying. And it takes him a while, and he needs to call in emotional reinforcements. And when he can speak again, he says, "He is closer to God than any one of us." And the mother, who only speaks Spanish, but she understands what her son has just said, she nods and she says, "He is the blessing of our lives. Every day we thank God for him." Burden or blessing? Annoyance or gift? Disruption or grace everywhere? Amen. help us with